Hey, this is Mike from the Run Testers. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Vomero. Now, in 2025, Nike decided to break out the Vomero line into three shoes. So the first was the Nike Vomero 18, also the Vomero Plus, which sits in the middle. I don't have that here, and also the Vomero Premium. Now, these are all shoes that are kind of best described as max cushion shoes, but they are built slightly differently, use those kind of popular Nike cushioning technologies in slightly different ways, but all have the same goal to deliver that kind of good max cushion experience in terms of protection, comfort, and being a shoe you can spend a lot of time in. Now in this video, we're going to focus in on how the Vomero 18, which is the cheapest of the three Vomero shoes, compares to the Vomero Premium. Now these are two shoes we've both liked in our multi-tester reviews. What I'm going to do in this video is give you a sense of what they're like to run in, how they compare in terms of that experience. I'll flash up the key kind of side-by-side stats here as well. And then we'll get into whether actually you should save some money, go for the Nike Vomero 18, or you should spend big on the Nike Vomero Premium. So in terms of fit, these are two shoes that are built for comfort. So you are getting plenty of padding around those kind of heel collars and also the tongues as well. There's actually not a huge amount different between the two shoes in those kind of key departments. I think the space up front of the toe box has been very good on both. I've got them both in UK size 8. I would stick to going for my usual size. The midfoot hold has been good as well. The laces, I think, in terms of getting a good lockdown, because of those kind of padded tongues, it does take a little bit of time kind of getting a good lockdown in that area. But I think, once you do, they kind of do stay put. The laces are slightly different. You're getting slightly more textured ones on the Vomero Premium, where it's a bit more standard on the Vomero 18, but I don't think it really kind of adds anything or takes anything away from the experience of running in either of these shoes. So I would stick to going for my usual size in both the Vomero 18 and the Vomero Premium. There's plenty of padding and comfort there in the key areas, and I think for most people, sticking to your regular size, particularly in Nike shoes, should be the way to go. Okay, so what these two shoes like to run in, and crucially, where are the key similarities and differences between the two? Now, what I would say is, as mentioned, these are still both max cushion shoes. I think what Nike has tried to do with the Vomero line is tick those key boxes in terms of being shoes that will protect your legs, will give you that comfort, give you a little bit of fun in that ride as well, but maybe tweak things slightly across the three shoes to kind of better cater it for different runners. Now, I'll start with the Nike Vomero 18, which was the first of the Vomero line to launch. Now, if you look at the makeup of this shoe, it has got a dual density midsole makeup. So you've got Zoom X, which is from, or kind of used in Nike's kind of racing focus shoes, gives you that bounce, liveliness. That's also cradled by its React X foam, which I think what that does is, along with this kind of naturally quite broad shoe, is create a very stable and controlled feeling in terms of the ride. Now, there is a kind of noticeable rocker in this shoe. It's not massively aggressive or massively pronounced, but I think what you get with that Zoom X foam, with that kind of gentle rocker feel, you really kind of tick over very nicely and smoothly in the Vomero 18. The other thing I'd say is it's still, like a lot of max cushion shoes, is best designed for easy paces, for your recovery paces. But I do think there are going to be some runners who are going to, from the way this shoe is designed, are going to feel they're going to be able to kind of slightly pick up the pace in this. I'm not saying you're going to want to do tempo runs in it and interval sessions in it, but I think if you're looking for a shoe that you can go from easy to moderate pace, then I think the Vomero 18, for plenty of runners, you will get the ability to do that or feel comfortable to do that in the Vomero 18. And then also you've got an outsole that is really, really strong in terms of that level of rubber. Maybe it isn't full coverage on the Vomero 18, but I think in terms of being a shoe that can withstand a lot of running time, I think potentially go off-road a little bit as well. The Vomero 18 definitely has that in its locker. And then we flip over to the Vomero Premium. Now, if you were to look at these shoes from above, you would say, it's not a huge amount between them in terms of their look. Flip them on the side, it's a totally different story. This is a shoe with a big stack of Zoom X foam, and only Zoom X foam. And you've also got those Air Zoom pods, huge Air Zoom pods in the forefoot and the heel of the shoe. So again, these are taking kind of features from Nike's racing shoes, putting it in a shoe that is designed to be comfortable first and foremost. But what you do get is you get a shoe, I think compared to the Vomero 18, you definitely sink in more, definitely feels more comfortable when you step into this shoe. It definitely feels more bouncy than the Vomero 18. You've not got that React X kind of foam like you do in the Vomero 18, kind of reining things in. And again, you've got those kind of big air zoom pods as well, which I think add to that kind of high rebound and feeling that you're getting here on the Vomero Premium. You have got a rocker, kind of notable rocker in there as well. And I think what those kind of qualities in terms of the foam, in terms of those pods do, is really kind of create a more pronounced rockered feeling compared to the Vomero 18. Now, I still think for most runners, this is going to be a shoe you're going to want to spend time on when you're doing your easy recovery runs, long runs, where you want some liveliness, but you also want that comfort, and that's what you get from the Vomero Premium. I do think some runners will be able to get some faster kind of sessions out of it, or feel comfortable to do some slightly faster sessions in it, but I think the weight, more so than it does on the Vomero 18, definitely counts against the Vomero Premium and wanting to do harder, faster sessions, on a regular basis. And, I think some will just find that extra weight just a little bit more, a bit more to handle really overall. And like the Vomero 18, you're getting a good outsole here as well, maybe a bit more coverage, but I would say that it's, on the Vomero 18, it's slightly thicker in, while it has got more exposed areas. The grip has been good on both of these shoes. I think if you're using these shoes in wet conditions, you're going to get good kind of performance. That's what I've seen in my time when I have run in rain in both of these shoes. And again, like the Vomero 18, I think you could kind of, wander off in some slightly lighter trails and you'd probably be okay and not beat this shoe up too much. So absolutely, these are two shoes I think a lot of runners are going to enjoy running in. I think the Vomero 18 is giving you some of those Vomero Premium qualities, but definitely a little bit more reined in, and they're definitely a little bit more naturally stable and controlled, and will probably work or will be best used for the same types of paces. The Vomero Premium, definitely bouncier, livelier, maybe slightly less stable than the Vomero 18, but definitely for a big shoe, very stable. And one last thing to mention is in terms of noise, the Vomero Premium, because of that kind of big stack of Zoom X foam, it's definitely very squeaky compared to the Vomero 18. You just don't get that kind of squeak in this shoe, so that's something to be kind of mindful of. It's not going to affect your kind of experience, but I think in terms of notable things between the two, that is something that I have noticed in my time with two shoes. So two shoes we've enjoyed running in. Which one you should buy and get, we'll get into that next. Okay, so verdict time. Would we go for the Nike Vomero 18 or the Nike Vomero Premium? Now, as you've probably seen throughout our videos on the Vomero range, that we are a fan of the entire line, but there's definitely a few things to factor in, particularly when you talk about these two shoes. The first obvious one is price. It's a huge price difference between the Vomero 18 and the Vomero Premium. Now, if you are willing to spend that money on the Premium, what you're going to get in return is arguably the more enjoyable, fun, bouncy, kind of comfortable shoe between the two. And it really kind of showcases one of Nike's best kind of cushioning technologies that it has in its kind of cushioning stable. On the other hand, you've got the Nike Vomero 18, which I think is going to be a better fit for most runners. It's going to probably be the shoe that's going to, first of all, be better value. It's going to probably offer a lot more versatility for a lot more runners, where I think with the Vomero Premium, it's going to be a shoe for a lot of people, or most people, that it's going to be a comfortable, easy run recovery day shoe. I think you can do that in the Nike Vomero 18, but also there is the capability to run a little bit quicker and to get something a little bit more comfortable at those kind of slightly quicker paces as well. It's probably naturally the more stable shoe as well. So if you're looking for the more stable of the two shoes, while the Vomero Premium is a stable shoe for a big stack shoe, I would definitely say compared, with the Vomero 18, that definitely feels like the more naturally stable shoe. So if you're looking at it from a value point of view, a shoe that's going to cover a lot of your runs in a very good way, then we would be going for the Vomero 18. If you're looking for the funnest, liveliest, bounciest kind of shoe to run in, use for your easy runs, recovery runs mainly, and you've got the money to spend, the Vomero Premium is going to give you a very nice kind of memorable experience. That's not to say or do a disservice to the Vomero 18, which again is a very good shoe, a very good value shoe, and definitely is going to offer more versatility for more runners. And that's probably the shoe we'd go for. It just makes more sense from a price point of view, versatility, and also, what you're going to get out of that shoe overall. So both very good shoes, very good max cushion shoes from Nike here. But if you're sensible about it, I think the Vomero 18 would be the best choice for most people. Go for the Vomero Premium, you'll get a great experience. You're just going to have to be willing to spend that big money to get it. Okay, so there you have it. That is our take on how the Nike Vomero 18 compares to the Nike Vomero Premium. Now, hopefully you found that video useful and it's helped you to decide over which Vomero is a better fit for you. Now, as mentioned, we have plenty of videos on the channel on the Vomero 18, the Vomero Premium and the Vomero Plus as well, so definitely go and check those out. As always, like and subscribe, hit that little bell to find out about our latest videos, and yeah, we'll see you for the next Run Testers video.